Hey y'all, Jamie here. Proud 55-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, trigger warning. Today's story is not for the faint of heart, okay? If you are weak about things that are very, very serious when it comes to child abuse, I suggest you not listen to this story. Now, they say, MAGA loves to say, leave the kids alone, right? We've all heard them say it. Leave the kids alone. Drag queen story time. Leave the kids alone. Trans women trying to live their fucking lives. Leave the kids alone. Stop programming them. So, let's have a reality check, shall we, on who raises these trans kids, who breeds these trans kids, who gives birth to these trans kids, who grooms these trans kids, if you will. It's cis hetero people most of the time. It's cis hetero people, like 99.9% of the time, okay? I don't know too many trans kids with trans parents. It happens, not saying it hasn't, but I don't know too many, okay? So I grew up in a family that's very MAGA. Let's just be clear. They are very MAGA. And let's also be clear, MAGA didn't just raise up, y'all. MAGA has been around. MAGA are the same people that lost the Civil War. They're the same people that lost World War II in Germany, and in other places, Mussolini, all of that. Listen, we've all seen this shit play out before that's going on right now. And us being the victims du jour, trans people being the victims du jour, being dangerous and all of that. Let me tell you something who's really dangerous. The MAGA families raising these trans kids out there that are trying to fucking survive. That's what's really dangerous, okay? I grew up in one of those families. Very Southern, very redneck, very Catholic, very, Christian oriented. I went to Catholic school for 3 years, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. My stepfather, when I was 5 years old, five, my mother went to work. My mother worked day shift, and I was home a lot during the day when I would get out of little preschool or school or whatever it was, right? He would take me into their bedroom and he would strip me down and he would handcuff me to the foot of the bed on the floor on my belly at 5. This was a conservative man. This was a straight conservative white man. Okay? And he held a gun to my head and told me if I ever said anything about what he was doing to me, that he would kill me, my mother, my little sisters. I had 2 little baby sisters. He said he would kill all of us if I said anything. And I don't have to be explicit about what the man did once I was handcuffed on that floor. Y'all are not stupid, okay? And this is a Christian household, a conservative household, mind you, okay? And this went on for quite some time. And then when I was 6 years old, my mother tried to leave him, okay? And she took me and she took my sisters and she took us to my grandmother's. My grandmother lived in a trailer in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and she was very proud of it. She had left my grandfather in the 60s when it was very uncommon to do so and had set out on her own because he was an abusive asshole. He was in the mob, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we were at my grandmother's. It's late at night, and my stepfather, Jerry Lynn, that was his name. Jerry Lynn was my own personal Michael Myers, like in the Halloween movies. He was my own personal Michael Myers. He was my boogeyman in my childhood, okay? And he beat on the windows and he beat on the door, and then he beat the door in. And me and my sisters ran to the back, to my grandmother's bedroom in the back of the trailer. And he beat my mother and he beat my grandmother. He ripped the phone out of the wall when my grandmother tried to call for help. And he beat her. He fractured like a couple of my mother's ribs, beat my grandmother, gave her black eye, you name it. And then he came stalking back to the bedroom. And he grabbed me and he said, "Get your sisters and come on." And he kidnapped us. Straight up kidnapped us. Took us out of the trailer, put us in the car, and took us back to our old house that we used to live in. Same house he raped me in. Repeatedly, over and over and over. As a little kid, Yeah, and I'm saying all this on TikTok. You know what? Fuck it. They're coming for us and they're calling us psycho. So we may as well tell them what raised these people that they're coming after, you know? And frankly, it's about time that more of us speak up and say, no, we're not the freaks. Y'all are the fucking freaks. So he takes us back to our old house. My sisters go to sleep in the living room on the floor. And my stepfather takes me in the kitchen and he pulls out a gun. He loved guns, he had a lot of them. He pulls out a gun and he tells me, you know what? I love your mother and I want her to take me back. And, you know, I love my girls because he was their father. He said, but you're not my kid. So if your mother doesn't take me back in the next 5 minutes, and he put the gun inside my mouth, 6 years old, 6-year-old little kid, and he put the gun in my mouth. And he said, if she doesn't call in 5 minutes and say she'll take me back, I'm going to shoot you through the roof of the mouth. It'll be quick. And then he stared at me and I froze. And then he pulled the gun out of my mouth and he turned around and he walked out of the kitchen and he stalked down the hallway to the master bedroom, the same master bedroom that he would handcuff me to the foot of the bed in. And then I heard pop, like a cap gun. And I slowly walked down the hallway and I walked into the master bedroom, and at the foot of the bed where I always had to lay while he raped me, there was his hand reaching up in the air. And he was gasping and begging me for help. He had shot himself. And if y'all want to know what happened next, listen, MAGA are the ones that raised us, right? We didn't raise ourselves. They brought us into the world. It's about time we shed a little light on them, don't you think? Okay. I love you all. I love you all for watching, and I love you for the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.